Yo, I'm not sure if y'all know or not, but this shit getting attacked, you heard? The US dollar is basically failing, and Trump just built on the US dollar. So, a lot of times I'm hearing people ask about Bitcoin and why they should buy Bitcoin. And it's sad because y'all not smelling the money. There's things going on in this world right now that y'all don't understand, but y'all will understand in the next 5 years because it's gonna be too late. You gotta understand that these billionaires and millionaires, they play by secrecy. So a lot of moves that they making is secret, feel me? And then you find out about it maybe 3 years down the line. So what I'm trying to tell y'all right now is everybody should be invested in Bitcoin. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just Janah. It's just educational purposes only. But every should be invested in Bitcoin. And here's why. Trump basically just put $3 billion into Bitcoin, right? And the thing you gotta understand with this is the reason why he just swapped 3 billion USD dollars into Bitcoin is because the US dollar is now failing. So as of right now, today is May, what's today? May 25th? Yeah. It's May 25th, 2025, right? So the US is in debt, as we all know. So the thing you gotta understand is when the US is in debt and the economy is about to crash or whatever, there's two ways they usually play it, like before. Either they're gonna print more money. We know that printing money brings inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is when everything around you costs more because the value of your dollar has decreased. So there's two ways they could play it. They could print more money and cause further inflation, or they could sell bonds. What is bonds? I'm gonna break this shit down for the ones in the back, cause y'all know these schools not really teaching us unless you took economics and shit. You're not really gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But look, so bonds is basically loans, right? So remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you off of my experience and what I know from my research. So bonds basically is when the U.S. asks for loans from other countries, right? And other countries basically give loans to U.S. with interest. So the U.S. has to pay back whoever, let's say France. The U.S. has to pay back France with interest in the next 3 years. That's basically what a bond is. The U.S. asking other countries for money with interest. So it's kind of like a promise. So basically, it's the same as you going to a bank and asking for a loan. You're telling the bank, hey, in 3 years, I'm gonna be able to pay off. In 3 years, I'm gonna be able to pay off this loan. I just need 20 bands real quick. And the bank says, okay, but I want my 20 bands back plus interest. So that's a bond. The only reason why they call it a bond instead of a loan is because it's countries. So it's kind of like a bigger thing. But it's essentially a bond is just a loan, like between countries. So back to the point, when the U.S. economy is failing, they have two options. Make more money, which means print more money, bring up inflation, or sell bonds. The thing is, Trump basically just tried to sell other countries, and the other countries just said, fuck no. You feel me? And that was basically his last resort to try to save the country. As you see, Elon Musk is not here. The whole point of Elon Musk being here is to try to get the U.S. debt down. Elon Musk just cut. What I think is, allegedly, Elon Musk just, it's just working out. Feel me? Like his plans just working out. He can't bring down the debt of U.S. So Trump was left with one option: sell bonds, get a loan. So basically, other countries just said, "I'm not giving U.S. a loan because U.S. credit is terrible." Like think about it like this: same way a bank would do 20 bids because your credit score is 400. That's what the other countries is telling the U.S. because they know the U.S. is fucked right now. They saying, yo, we don't think we'll get our money back if we give our money to you, so we're not going to do this agreement. We don't want your bond. We don't want to do a loan with you. So now, only one option left, print money. And guess what happens when you print money? The US dollar loses value. You feel me? The thing about the US dollar loses value. That means everything around you becomes more expensive. 100K now is going to be 50K later. You understand what I'm saying? A dollar now is going to be 50 cents later. 50 cents now is going to be 25 cents later. So your money is being devalued because they're printing more. It's as simple as supply and demand. The more supply in the market is the less demand that it has because everybody has it. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like a girl or a guy. If everybody had it, then that demand is down versus somebody that hasn't been had. Or an item, let's say limited edition. Limited edition is 1-of-1, so everybody wants it. That's why whoever has the limited edition could charge any price he wants because everybody wants it because nobody has it. So the demand is high because the supply is low. But when the supply is high, nobody wants to demand it. The demand is down because everybody already has it. So when you print a bunch of fucking money, that means everybody has USD cash. So that brings the demand for USD down, which means your value goes down, which means supermarkets get expensive, car loans get expensive, house loans get expensive. Anything that you spend $1 on gets expensive. You understand what I'm saying? So the big news of this week that I just seen is Trump is about to invest $3 billion into Bitcoin. Why is this? Watch the play. So remember what I said. He just tried to sell bonds and it didn't work. So now he's only left with one option, and that's to print more money, which brings inflation. So if he has $3 billion in USD, it would be wise of him if he transfers that $3 billion in USD into Bitcoin, which is a different currency. Because if he has $3 billion in USD and he starts printing more money, that $3 billion isn't worth the same as $3 billion. Remember what I just told you, 100K turns to 50K. So if he has $3 billion, it'll be smart of him to move it into Bitcoin and then start printing money. So everybody who has a savings of 40,000, 20,000, 10,000, that 10,000 is not going to be worth 10,000 after they start printing money. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta smell the fucking coffee. These millionaires and billionaires, they making moves and they do it in secrecy, and you're gonna find out way too late. So right now they're buying Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the best investment available. And I'm not a financial advisor. This is just me talking from my experience, educational purposes only. Bitcoin is the best financial investment that you can have.
Don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
Is it time yet for BlackRock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients.
It's not an institutional thing yet.
It's far from that. As I said, it's much more of a speculative platform for Asia, and it's heavily used for money laundering.
Just yesterday, we launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF. I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin.
I was going to say, did that surprise you?
That surprised me how much that.
As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. My opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 for Bitcoin.